comfy and cozy. We're going to be talking about a good one today. Today's top 5 tips for new BCBAs. I wanted to make this one because these are the things that I didn't know and I wish people would have told me. It would have been so helpful to have these. These are things that I've just slowly figured out along the way, and obviously I'm still learning. These are just the 5 tips that I wish I would have known right off the bat. It's things that you don't know until you're either told or you're researching and you stumble across, and it's just like, huh? Make sure you guys are liking these videos and let me know that you like them so that way I can make more and give you guys more of the content that you're looking for. I love making these kind of videos because I wish somebody would have told me these. Make sure you guys subscribe for more content like this as I keep putting it out. I have lots of exciting videos coming. I've got lots of ideas planned for you guys. I finally got the podcast kind of under control on a good schedule so I can start adding in these other videos. Let's get right into it. Top 5 tips for new BCBAs. Tip number 1. Join all the Facebook groups. This one I had no idea would be so influential and huge. There's a couple Facebook groups that I will link down below that I think are so helpful. There's one called the Newly Minted BCBA, and there's a lot of questions that people just ask. Some of them you're going to know the answer to. Some you're going to be like, I didn't think of it that way. Or you could use it as your own resource. If you have poor supervision of the company you work for, you can ask questions on there and other people can brainstorm ideas. It's been really helpful. I love helping other people on it as a BCBA that has a little bit more experience now. And I love getting ideas and seeing new perspectives on things, new ways to approach behaviors. But there's a couple of groups. I will link them all down below. Great resources. Another thing to kind of along with that, use your CEU requirements. Use that to your advantage to help your imposter syndrome and your new BCBA anxiety. What I would do is, anytime I ran into a situation where I had no idea what to do and I felt like I was just completely lost, I would find a CEU on it. There's so many out there and there's so many affordable ones. Absolutely doable. I would watch it, take all the notes and learn from it and implement it right into that case, and I felt more confident. Good example is I had a kid who had a lot of anxiety, like really bad anxiety from leaving parents. And obviously in ABA, we can't call things anxiety. That's not operational. That's not behavioral. It can be defined, it can be billed for. So I watched a CEU on how to make that ABA. How do you use ABA terminology to describe anxiety and treat it in a way that is ABA and not overstepping our scope of practice? I'm huge on I'm not a psychologist. They're the pros. They deal with that. But for now, how can I help this child? What can I do to ease their anxiety and practice in a way that honors their assent and communication and really gives them the best tools for what we have right now? While parents work on getting a psychologist involved. CEU website that I absolutely love for more affirmative practices is called Do Better Collective. I will link it below. I think a lot of CEUs are great and they're highly affordable, so check them out. Tip number 2, don't be afraid to go to a new company. Don't be. It's scary, I know, but don't stick with your current company just because it's what you know and what's most comfortable. Going to a new company, you're probably going to get paid more, you might have more value, and you're going to learn a lot. But I will be honest with you, I don't have a lot of room to speak on this. I'm taking from other people's experiences what they said. They tell me, when you leave, go, spread your wings, figure out what's out there. That's really pushed me to start my own company. So I've been with a lot of companies before I became BCBA. When I was at RBT, I was with 3 or 4 different companies over the years. As a BCBA, I've only been with one company, but I am starting my own company, so branching out in that way. Kind of cheating the system a little bit there, but still spread your wings. Figure out what's out there, guys. Tip number 3. Something I didn't know even existed was an independent contractor. I've only ever heard of it here and there. I've heard of it a little bit as RBT, but the BACB doesn't allow that anymore. When my very first ABA job, I was a behavior tech and I was a 1099 employee, independent contractor. Those are the same things. But I knew absolutely nothing about what I was doing. Literally nothing. But as a BCBA, independent contractor is an option that you have, and every family is different. Everybody has different needs. An independent contractor can really help you kind of fill in those gaps. So independent contractor, you are your own company essentially. The quick benefits of it is you make your own schedule. You are your own boss. You're bringing to this company a service. Think about when you are fixing up your house and you hire an electrician. They're not your employee. You're not telling the electrician when to come and how to do their job. They come in and they do the job and then they leave. Same thing for BCBA independent contractor. They come in, they do the job, they bring their expertise, they leave. On their schedule, the pay is negotiable. You get higher pay, like I said, because you don't get like health benefits, you don't get like, PTO, things like that, because those are W-2 employee benefits. So if you're on like state insurance or your spouse has coverage, this might be a good option for you. You might get higher pay that way. If you have kids and you need a more flexible lifestyle, that might be something to look into. You make your own schedules. You're your own person. I never knew that even existed until like 5 months ago. So you have a W-2 option, independent contractor. I can do a video. I've done a lot of research on it, so I can kind of talk about the pros and cons of each. Let me know. Give a video a like, comment if you would like that. Tip number 4. This one is near and dear to my heart. I'm trying to shout this from the rooftops. You guys are going to hear me say this 1,000 times. Do not let companies take advantage of you. Just know there's a lot of greed in ABA. There's a lot of money to be had. The lower you can pay your employees, the more you can make them work, the more money the big boss man person gets. And that's the sad truth about a lot of companies, especially, no, say this is not with all companies. There are many BCBAs who do value their employees and who do pay them well and things like that. This is not talking about them. I'm talking about, sometimes those bigger companies just see you as another person. The job's in high demand. There's a lot of people applying for these positions. If you don't like it, get out. They'll find somebody else. And those situations are tough. But don't just take it because you think you're being a better person or you're going to get recognized for your work or to be nice or because your families deserve it or your clients deserve it. If your salary is for 40 hours, you should only work 40 hours. Take your lunches, guys. End your day at 5. Leave your work at work. Go home. Put your work in a drawer. Go home. I preach this one because I see so many BCBAs burn themselves out in 5 years. Like, this field has such high turnover because the expectations are ridiculous. The expectations are money driven typically. Just know if a company is pushing you to work outside your paid hours and is pushing you with culture to not take your lunch, that's not okay. Push back against that. Ask for more money if they want you to work outside of work hours. If they expect you to get things done that aren't being paid, just tell them that's not for me. I can't do that. It is illegal for them to want you to do things that you're not being paid for. So keep that in mind. And like, companies will justify this with those crazy high billing requirements. Like, I'm starting to see companies pop up like 30 hours a week for billing. I think they're shady at the best, because imagine if you found out your child's doctor was just hanging out in the room talking to you about your child's diagnosis just to make more money. I understand the need for companies to be able to make money. However, they do not need a minimum 30-hour billing requirement. It's absolutely insane. And I, again, think unethical, because we're not putting the client's needs first and thinking about what do they need? What do we need to bill for this client to be successful? It's purely based off numbers and how to open more centers. Lovely, right? And another big red flag, I do not like the whole billing pay that companies will do and then admin pay. Some companies will pay a higher rate for if you bill, you get, $30 an hour, whereas if you're doing like admin tasks, so if you're updating a treatment plan or making a schedule, you get paid $20 an hour. That stuff drives me insane. Another way that companies can take advantage of you is not having proper oversight or supervision. As a new BCBA or any BCBA, I think you should have supervision. You should have mentors. You should have people to lean on and talk to. Those people should be available to answer your questions. If a company hires you and just puts you out and says, good luck, you know what you're doing, unless if you're an independent contractor, that's different. As a W-2 employee, you absolutely should have support. There's no doubt in my mind about it. If they aren't supporting you, you need to ask them to pay somebody to support you, because that is their job as your supervisor and their ethical code if they're a BCBA. And like, pitying them because they don't have the bandwidth to do it. It's like, my supervisors are so busy, I just don't want to ask and bother them. It's their job, guys. Don't let them take advantage of you and your kindness and your newness. You can demand these things in the most nice professional way. And if they're not willing to give it, leave. Last way companies can take advantage of you is having engagement in unethical business practices or unethical ABA. So there's a lot of things in ABA that result in quicker solutions like punishment procedures and doing things, kind of skirting around parents or, signing documents late and just not being on top and organized. Don't let companies take advantage of you because this is, shoddy practices. We don't want that. We're better than that. Speak up and move on. Tip number 5. Okay. I know this one is going to rub some people the wrong way and it's going to be controversial, but hear me out. This is another one that I can get on my soapbox and preach about all day long and I wouldn't run out of breath. Burnout is a choice. Burnout is something you're doing to yourself. This is kind of going off of the last one. I just really want to hit on burnout as a new BCBA. Do not feel like you have to do these things for your clients. If you burn out and you quit, those clients don't have services at all then. You need to take care of yourself, have your de-stressing routine, separate work from your home life, find things that you enjoy about the job every day. If your staff are stressing you out, you gotta pair with them, build those relationships, find ways, bring your personality into your work. I'm a virtual BCBA, guys, and I still have a blast every day with my staff because you gotta find those fun ways to incorporate yourself and enjoy your job and be a supervisor that you are proud of and that you would enjoy having. So that way when you go home, you're like, that was a tough day, but I loved it. Remind yourself, we as BCBAs are so hooked on that grind culture. Got our bachelor's, got our master's, got our supervision hours, studied for that exam, pass that exam, get into a new role, get a caseload, learn all these clients, learn the job, learn how to be supervisor, learn how to track supervision, learn how to follow all of our ethical guidelines, learn how to handle parents, clients. It is a lot. You gotta take your time, give yourself grace, give yourself love, build a community, join those Facebook groups, find your people, be proud of yourself each and every day. That to-do list is never going to end. I promise you, I've tried. As soon as you finish that to-do list, your to-do list is gonna start up again. Don't ever try to finish it. Just stay on top of it. Keep it moving along. Set yourself little goals. ABA yourself, guys. Reinforce yourself. Buy yourself cute stickers. Do whatever you need to do. You got this. I'm proud of you. I know you're working so hard. You're trying to be the best person you can be for your clients and your families. And I appreciate you no matter what. Alright guys, those are my top 5 tips for new BCBAs. I really wish I would have been told these things and had somebody to kind of guide me in that way and give me that information. So I hope that helps you guys. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye guys.